Nice to be able to talk to you today. I'm here to talk to you about serverless as a competitive advantage for your business, for your developers, for your workflow. But hang on a minute, this is the serverless conference. I know you probably all use serverless and really can see the benefits that it brings, but no doubt you know people who don't, right? How can you convince them? How can you have good discussions with them that will maybe lead them to checking it out and trying it? Well, I hope that this talk will give you some things to talk about, some different use cases. Because even though serverless has been around for a while now, hasn't it? We still face things like this tweet. I am developer parody account which says serverless is just someone else's servers. Oh, isn't that so annoying? So how do we counter that? What are the counter arguments? How do we convince people that it's okay, that it's a paradigm they might want to try? Well, there are 4 things that people can check out. The fact that there is no server management. I'm going to focus on the management bit. How it scales up and down, but it's based on your usage. How pricing model is very, very different, and how it can help your developers go faster. Let's go into the first one. There are no servers to manage. Have you ever had this happen? I got an error at a company I worked for before. The application has failed to deploy because this version of Ubuntu is no longer supported. Yes, all of our containers were on a fixed version of Ubuntu, and that had certain dependencies within it that allowed the application to run, and then we had to upgrade all of it. It took us a long time, about 4 of my colleagues and I, about a week, just under a week to fix it. We had to update every application, every Docker container, every pipeline. And it took a while because the applications were a little bit broken because of that. Now, of course, in serverless, you don't have this layer to worry about. You don't worry about the container layer. You just worry about your code. And so there's no servers to manage. You don't need to worry about this kind of issue when you're coming to serverless. Now, that's a good benefit, isn't it? That can obviously help people to go faster, surely. I wouldn't have spent 4 days on it and when I had that problem. Right, here's the second one. Automatic scaling. So in a traditional application, of course, you've got your Kubernetes pods, your replica sets in it. So you might have like 2 as a base that are already ready to accept traffic. And maybe you can set it to scale to 4 if things get especially busy. But then all of a sudden you hit the big time and you're getting this error. Error message 429 means too many requests. Now, this can be a big problem, of course. You know, you suddenly got loads of traffic and your hypervisor is trying to funnel traffic to your different instances, but it can't. They're all blocked. With serverless, this doesn't happen because your functions scale with the requests that they get infinitely. So what do you do if you see loads of traffic suddenly flood into your network? Oh, look at all these numbers. Oh, isn't that great? We're going to make some money here. You just sit and watch it happen because your applications can scale and you don't need to worry about it. That's brilliant, isn't it? That's a really good benefit. I'm sure you'll agree. The next one is consumption-based pricing. Now, I've got 2 figures on the screen. I don't know if you can guess where this is going to go, but the first one is $2,000 per month. The second one is 86 cents. $2,000 is what I was guessing that a company I worked for once was paying for each application that they were running. So they had a very simple application. It was doing some authenticating on the server, rendering a UI and sending data back to an API. $2K for their base replica sets that they were waiting for traffic every month. And then they had 4 different environments, so staging and prod and those kind of things. And they also had 13 of these applications. 13! Can you see the dollars rolling up in your mind? Yeah. So the other figure is 86 cents. And that was my first AWS bill that I got last month after using AWS for like 3 years or so, right? Okay, it's not a like-for-like comparison here. My applications are really small. I've got like 4 instances of Webinary that are serving little blogs here and there. It's just me using it. It's not really a fair comparison, okay. But look at that. Look at the difference. I'm doing a lot of stuff on those applications. There's a lot of things going on there. There's a database, there's the functions, there's the CloudWatch logs, there's storage, all kinds of things, and I'm barely paying a thing for it. So, of course, things do start to get expensive, don't they, with serverless, once you've got a certain amount of traffic, a certain amount of things going on. But, that $2,000 per month, it was just going to sit there every month. They knew it was going to cost that much money. How better it is to scale things as you grow. Much better, isn't it? That's good ammunition for people that are maybe thinking about serverless to try to figure out. Okay, now the fourth one, faster product iteration. Now this is an interesting one because you've got your business logic layer, the things that your company is interested in delivering, right? This new feature or whatever it is, and that is abstracted away. All the rest of the stuff, is abstracted away for you. So you don't need to worry about things going wrong in the API layer, or the storage layer, or the notifications crashing. It's just your code that you worry about. Now, as a developer, that's obviously a massive benefit because you don't need to worry about all this other stuff that might be going on. And it could be a huge headache if you worry just about your concern of what you're doing now. That allows you greater focus. You can iterate over your product faster. And because you're also saving money because you're using serverless, you can get ahead of the competition and you can beat them to market with things, which is a great thing to have in your toolbox, isn't it? Be able to do. Okay, great. So haven't we seen that there are 4 good things that we can use to help convince people that serverless is a great paradigm to try. There's no server management to worry about. You've got auto scaling, consumption-based pricing, and faster product iteration. All of these things are going to help a business to succeed and grow. But it's not all a rose garden, is it? I mean, there's a lot less to worry about. In this chart, I've got the different concerns that you have to worry about in different instances. So if you've got physical on-prem hardware, you've obviously got to worry about the full stack, haven't you? The hardware, the OS, the guest OS, the container. And on the other hand, you've got serverless, where you only worry about your application. But there's a bit of a hidden story, isn't there? The applications that you run on physical or VM or on a container, that application can stay the same in those 3 environments. But it can't for serverless, can it? So people need to start with serverless. They need to start using it from the beginning, which is obviously a problem. I think that's one of the biggest blockers for people, isn't it? So how do you get started with serverless? How do you get into it? How do you start building your applications with serverless? Well, why not take something that's already been built, put it up there, and start tinkering with it? I happen to work for Webinary. Webinary is, it started life as a serverless application framework, in fact. So it comes with all the tools and infrastructure that you might support, that you might expect from a tool like that. But it is, we've repositioned as a CMS because that's what our users were mostly using it for, and the potential that they saw in it. But it does scale really well, of course, being serverless, but also it's been built to be tinkered with and rebuilt and repurposed. It's built to be extensible. There's a plugin ecosystem. It's built on composable React components. So there's a lot of potential there for your business to be able to build something on top of Webinary and grow your business exponentially. So do check it out. I hope that's helped you to see some of the benefits of serverless, and I hope you have fun at the rest of the conference.